Wrestlepalooza, WWE just had their very first ESPN PLE show, and Wrestlepalooza went off the air a few moments ago. And here on the Big Pop Theory podcast, we are here to talk about the 5 match card. We have we had 5 matches. We had a Hall of Fame induction, and we're going to talk about it. As you can see, we also have a brand new women's world champion. I'm going to take down this graphic once we get there. This is the Big Pop Theory podcast. We are on YouTube. It's an audio podcast as well. We're going to get back to the audio stuff of things, but we're trying to get some YouTube content going here. But I'm one of your hosts, the Great Grand Slam Pooh, Bad Guy Jack for life, and I'm joined with Rich Kings and one Mark Wins, our favorite casual gentlemen. Well, I already know how you are, Mark Wins, because we hung out today. We watched Wrestlepalooza together. But Rich King, sir, how the heck are you?
Doing great. It's a great night. Chilling. Ready to get into it.
It looks like a really great night out there in Georgia. I see, like, it seems like the weather out there is pretty well, and I can see the how you say it, like the night. I said the nightlife, but it was called like the skyline. I want to say is how you say it properly. Yeah, no, it looks good. Looks very, very good.
Everybody's
let me ask you, since I'm having because Mark Wins, I already know, like, he's gonna go. He have thoughts, and I know we're gonna hear it. But Rich Kings, why don't we start with you first? What did you think about this PLE?
I feel like it was pretty solid. I think each match was pretty long in my estimation. I know you're a big person of the times of the match, but I think it was good. 4 out of 5.
All right. You know what? I'm still going to give you the floor, Mark Wins. What did you think about this PLE?
3 out of 5. It was solid, but we'll get to it. Overall, it was a solid show, right? I'm like but as you alluded to earlier, I have thoughts, but I can give it a 3 out of 5. Maybe if I'm being nice, I think I can give it a 3.5 out of 5 max, personally.
So when you guys are saying this, you guys are giving it like a star rating rather than the matches. Like, hey, I like these 3 matches out of 5 matches, right? Is that okay?
Correct.
That's
that's not like the whole show, right?
All right, no. I wanted to get your thoughts. Did you gentlemen? I want to give a shout out to. I don't think he's no longer in the chat, but we want to give a shout out to him anyway. George Lewis. He says, "Hello, everyone." Let's highlight it because I think it's important to highlight our people here. But he says, "Hello, everyone." He's always like, when I do the NXT review show, he's always the first one in the chat. So to see him the first here on the Big Pop, thank you for being here, George. He says, "I'm glad that Stephanie Vaquer won." He also says, AJ Lee and CM Punk, I knew they were going to win. I feel like everyone knew that they were going to win. If we're going to get into it, but I feel like if AJ and Punk would have lost, I think that would have been to spite people, just to be like, well, they expect them to win, so let's just throw a curveball. But we'll get into that. We got Jeffrey Reimer. What is going on? This guy is the MVP. This guy, no matter what it is that we do, he's a big supportive of that. UPR, Big Pop, always appreciate him. So thank you, Jeffrey, for being in the chat. So, thank you for being here, man. I just can't say that enough, but thank you. He says, I give it 4 out of 10. And George, he is here, my arch nemesis. George, I actually talked about you today. I was talking to Mark Wednesday as we were making our way to my house. And I said, you are the Seth Rollins to my CM Punk. I can't get rid of you. You find a way to always like agitate me in a way, but he says he gives it a solid 6.5. And I think that's pretty cool. 6.5. I thought the PLE was fine. No, I'll ask you, gentlemen. I also put the people X's as well as in the chat. I saw a lot of people complaining about commercials. I'm used to commercials. So Netflix, I get commercials. Peacock, I get commercials because I don't buy the, hey, there's no commercials. That don't bother me. because I'm just so accustomed to it, to the point where I didn't even notice it. Like, I just said, like, oh, cool, like, thing. Like, sometimes I'll see a commercial. Matter of fact, if I could just sit here and say this, me and Mark Wins, we ordered some Pizza Hut. And you know what made me decide to do Pizza Hut? Because I saw a Pizza Hut commercial and I said, I could go for Pizza Hut. So commercials don't bother me, is my point. But for you gentlemen, was that something that bothered you guys? And I'll give you the floor first, Rich Kings, and then Mark Wins.
No, I kind of alluded to this yesterday when we talked about ESPN and WWE merging together. I mean, we used to commercials all our sports, so there's going to be a commercial. So this is WWE for WWE. I'm not going to expect a commercial. That's how they make their money. So
That's
I
fair.
mean, if you like, I didn't see another option that could get me the no commercials. I mean, I got the unlimited option. Guess what? It came with commercials still. So it was good. It is what it is. It gives you time to go to the bathroom and do other things besides staring and watching people talk about absolutely nothing. Do I want to hear Michael Cole talk about the next what's coming up on Raw? Do I want to hear a backstage or see a backstage segment, or do I want to see the celebrity in the crowd for the 10th time? No, I don't want to see that. So give me the commercial. I can walk away and come back.
No, that's true, because they love their celebrities where they sit there and always like highlight. I'm at this point in my life now where, like, I see a celebrity and I'm like, I have no idea who that is. Like, people laugh at me, but I didn't know who Sexy Red was until NXT, and I'm not joking at all. Like, I know I make my jokes and everyone laugh, but I did not know who that was. Mark Wins, do you want to take the? Hey, we got I like that we got some energy going on here in the chat here, but Mark Wins, do you have any thoughts about this? These commercials.
So I didn't watch any pay-per-views prior to, I want to say 2010, right? Like, I didn't really watch any of them because I didn't. But from all the time I've been watching pay-per-views, the only pay-per-views that I know of, pay-per-views, PLEs, whatever, that I know of that didn't have commercials per se were TNA pay-per-views. And once again, that was back in 2007, 2008. And even then, I'm pretty sure someone could correct me. Like, hell, actually, as far as I'm concerned, they've always had pay-per-views. So they've always had commercials. Like, so I
Might
don't
have.
know. So I don't know what the complaint is about. I mean, if your complaint is, damn, I have to pay for another whatchamacallit just to see commercials, I get it. But other than that, I can't say I see a problem. And like Rich King said, what's the alternative? You're gonna sit there and watch somebody. You're gonna watch somebody talk about. Okay, there is one thing, now that I'm thinking about it. There is one thing that did not happen during this PLE that I am used to, and now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't see it much. They didn't do the thing where, like,
So cool.
they set up
So cool.
where, like, they show, or maybe I wasn't paying attention because, you know what? Never mind. I don't. You know what? I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't have no problem.
What are we even chatting about?
Yeah, because I was about to say, I was gonna say, all right, I don't know if they did like where they show like the vignettes of showing how we got here. But then I'm sitting there thinking to myself, they did show that with AJ Lee and the AJ Lee, CM Punk, and the Lynches. So
Right.
but at the
So,
same,
right, Seth and Becky Lynch, right?
yes, but at the same time, I didn't see it. No, I missed the first match, Brock Lesnar match, but I don't think I saw any pre-match setups or the pre-match vignettes with Braun Mortgage and the Usos,
There
and
we
I
go.
don't think we saw it with
Very good, Mark. Very good.
Io Sky and Stephanie. So if that now, but granted, I wasn't paying that much attention.
Me
So
either.
if that is a thing that if they're sacrificing those vignettes for the commercials, that is probably that's something that maybe should be addressed. Maybe other as far as like just having commercials in the PLE, that's not a big deal because this is not the first one, nor will it be the last one that has commercials.
No, it won't be. And I think people need to get used to it. I think there's a lot of people who bought that premium thing. Look, I've always said this. I'm poor, so I buy the cheapest thing. So if I have commercials, and I love what Jeffrey said. He said he had an opportunity to make his chicken nuggets. I hope them chicken nuggets were fantastic, friend. We didn't cook anything, but it gave me a chance to get our pizza, and it was Mark. This is not a pizza review, but let people know that the Pizza Hut was really hutting. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, Pizza Hut is dope. I think, like I said, Pizza Hut is. I think Pizza Hut is the best chain pizza. We are in New York, so we are like. No, I'm gonna say it. We're pizza capital of the world. Other
Hello.
than other than Italy, I'll give Italy its props. But other
No,
than that, what do you
let's give
mean?
them nothing. Listen, Italy. I'm going to let you know right now, we have the best pizza, and maybe one day you'll be able to catch up with us. Maybe. I don't see it, honestly, but if you're from Italy, give us a like and subscribe, please.
Nah, I think New York is the pizza capital of the world. You know what I mean? I give Italy its props, but
No, don't do it.
no, I'll give Italy its props. But here's what I won't give props. I won't give props to Chicago with their fucking
No.
casserole pizza. I won't give Detroit with their casserole pizza.
Let me
And San Francisco, I know there's a couple of places that like to say, "Oh, we got the best pizza." No, you don't.
let me tell you something about Chicago. I went to Chicago, right? And it was nice. It's literally the windy city because when we went there, it was very windy. I saw my hair do like this because it was so windy. But as we went there and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, we should get some Chicago pizza. I mean, I didn't suggest it, but everyone agreed, like, hey, let's try out some Chicago pizza. And when I went there, Chicago, and I'm looking at you, Chicago, Chi-Town, Bulls. You haven't been important since Michael Jordan left that town. But let me tell you something. We went there, and I said, hey, we see you have Chicago pizza. Can we get some? And they said, no, we don't have any. Cowards. But let's talk about this card here. Just embarrassing themselves. Mark, say it for me. Well, how are they embarrassing themselves? Say it for me. Come on, give me what I want.
How are they embarrassing themselves?
Yes. Oh, I'll say it. I'm sorry. I haven't gotten that line over enough. I'm sorry. They're embarrassing themselves in 4K HD in stereo. There we go. Yes, George, we're going to actually talk about that. Stephanie, you know what? I want to give the floor here. Why don't we open up with this, before we go into the card here? I don't have a graphic for it, but yes, thank you, George. He's saying Stephanie is being inducted in the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. Congratulations. It's funny because when I saw it and Mark wins his hair, I was like, man, I don't really have nothing bad to say about this. Like, it's cool. I think a little bit is a little too early because like usually they wait at least like the following year, but they went. I'm sorry, I have hiccups here, guys. Bear with me. We're in September and they're already saying 2026 Hall of Fame. I really don't have a problem with it. I just thought it was a little early. But Stephanie McMahon, God, I feel like Rich Canes need to take the floor here when it comes to one Stephanie McMahon because there are moments with her. Like, was she like the greatest wrestler, in ring worker? No. She was known for her character work. And when I think about the $1 Billion Princess and listen, slapping, the way she would slap people, slapping got over because of her. Like big time. Like if you remember those old WWE games, like from No Mercy and SmackDown 2, 3, and all that, women's special slap. You know that it was really called the Stephanie slap. And she's been in a lot of moments too of being the GM and I mean, it was really more about Billy and Chuck, right? That moment, but she still was a big part because she got, the Samoan drop and it looked like she had moments. And forgive me because I can't name every little moment.
I was gonna say that thing with Undertaker and Stone Cold, like Undertaker was trying to sacrifice her or something like that.
And Stone Cold beat up 14 men with the heart of Texas. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was really, very, very, very much ridiculous. But she had a lot of moments. But Rich Kings, I'm gonna give you the floor here first because I feel like we each have like a woman that we liked and stuff like that. And I remember as kids or when we were younger, right? You was a big fan of Stephanie. You was definitely a Stephanie McMahon guy. So how do you feel about this induction? And yes, he was the GM before Teddy. You're absolutely right, Jeffrey. But go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think that I mean, are we surprised? No, I'm not surprised that she got abducted. Like to your point, like for them to announce something so early is different. But maybe they're trying to change things up to build more excitement. But I do think that just the work that she did, being the manager, being controversial, taking the insults, always in the middle of the Attitude Era is like that pinata, but also still being able to have her own impact by interfering in matches and still having that pull of being the not only just Vince's daughter but a staple of WWF at the time too. And then and moving on to WWE, right, as the GM, and then when they had that faction with her Triple H and Seth Rollins and stuff like that. Like she was there for the Sting unveiling, right? She was there for so many different moments. Ronda Rousey coming back, not coming back, coming into WWE at the time. So I think like when you think about a lot of the things that she's been in, I think if you have to really think like, man, she was in a lot of things. So it kind of makes sense, and her impact is definitely felt. And when you think about it, she kind of ushered into a new women's evolution of wrestling, right? She was one of the people like we need something different here. So she kind of ushered in away from the divas and into the women's evolutions we see here right now. And she has an amazing podcast too. So why not induct her into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, if I can ask, have you listened to her podcast?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. No, that's cool. That's cool. Mr. Wins, do you have any thoughts? I mean, I know we were hanging out, but still, do you have any thoughts for the people?
Yeah, Stephanie McMahon being inducted is well deserved. I was wondering, I was a little confused when you was like, "Oh, it's a little too early," and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, "When's the last time Stephanie McMahon's been in a match?" But you meant like in terms of like how early they announced the induction. Fair
Mhm.
enough.
Mhm.
Um, Rich Kings could talk about her general career better than I could, so I can't really elaborate on that. I just know that um and I'm what's going on, Crazy Joe? I just know that Stephanie McMahon is a better wrestler than Brie Bella. So if they got the Bella twins on that Bleachers report list, then yes, Stephanie McMahon 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I can't really, like I said, I can't really elaborate any better than Rich Kings can. So I agree with Rich Kings.
I mean, you know, I hear you, but like, I have some good points too. Just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, it's
You
not a
did, you did.
yeah, but I mean, I yeah, I want you to know because that means you left a very bad taste in my mouth. But let's get into this card here. Real quick, before we start here, you're watching the Big Pop Theory podcast. We're doing YouTube content. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification. We're trying to get some content going here. We go live for prediction and after shows, and we're trying to do some retrospect content as well. So with that being said, we're not live, but it's retro. It's retro. We're talking about stuff that happened years ago, and we still like feedback and just let us know what you think about the episode that we're reviewing. And if there's anything particular that you think, hey, it'd be cool if you review this, we'll give it a shot and do that. Jeffrey's in the chat, and please, Jeffrey, please. I just want to give a shout out to Jeffrey. I can't compliment him enough, but he mentioned like we should do Survivor Series, and I forget if it was a 2000 or 2001. So let us know what it was, but I promise you for November, because that's when Survivor Series is, we'll look into it and make that I feel like we'll make that a thing. So let's get into the very, very first match. And we open up here with, and by the time me and Mark got into the house, we were midway in the match, but we got John Cena and Brock Lesnar going 1-on-1 for what I believe is the last time. I saw someone write like after the match, it looked like they're going to be running it back, and I hope that they don't run it back. Honestly, sincerely, I hope they don't. I thought so. I'll start off with the positive, right? So missed the entrance and stuff like that, and I saw that with I was on social media and I saw that the kids, I won't say they walked John Cena to the ring, but they were out for the entrance with John Cena. Brock Lesnar coming out and then having Paul Heyman introduce him like old times. I thought that was cool. It's crazy to say nostalgia, but it's kind of nostalgic. So seeing that was cool. And Brock Lesnar and John Cena had, um, I can't even say this was like a match. It was just like Brock tossed John Cena a bit. John Cena did a move. He did the John Cena things. Brock Lesnar did not care. And then there was like a barrage of F5s. I don't know if it was like 5 or 6 matches. I mean matches. I'm sorry, 5 or 6 F5s, and then John Cena and Brock Lesnar pinned him. Now I do want to sit here and say this. You know, I love my friends. My friends are here. These are friends that I've had for many, many years, and I'm going to love them for the rest of my life. And I want you guys to all know that. But I was the only one who picked one Brock Lesnar to go over John Cena because you know why? I am brilliant. And I don't mean to brag about my intellect. It's just it can't be measured. Like I would donate to science, but science wouldn't know what to do with such power. So I picked Brock Lesnar to destroy John Cena, and it happened. I'm proud of myself. I will pat myself on the back. Congratulations to me. If there was a Big Pop championship on the line tonight, I would be the champion. I would raise my arm. I would stack you two on top of each other, raise the belt up, and sit here and say, but yeah, no, this match was awful. This was not a good match. This was not fun at all. But yeah, Brock Lesnar. But I'll be honest though, Brock Lesnar had to go over. Brock Lesnar, he just came back, and this was one of the things. And I was telling you this, Mark Wins. So John Cena's retiring at the end of the year. Brock Lesnar's going to still be here, and they're going to still book him like a. I didn't say all this, but like they're still going to book him as a beast, and I just felt it was the right outcome. Now, was this match anything to go back and watch? No, but Brock Lesnar get the win. I am going to give, and just to let you guys know how bad this match was. Let's highlight this comment right here. This match was a 2-pack of ass. I don't know if you guys know that. That means not good. Jeffrey says, boy, I was wrong with this outcome. John Cena got dominated. And he also says they had to show those two Cena kids. I love that. That was great. I love – look, I think, look, I'm all about the children and stuff, but they got to realize what the real world is like. Not everything is rainbows. Sometimes you wake up in the morning, you step on a thumbtack. I'm sorry. Like, that's real life. Sometimes you wake up and, you run out of toilet tissue. That's just the real world. And sometimes you got to let kids know at an early age, and I am very sorry that they have to deal with that, but they need to know because you don't want to be in your mid-20s and you think there's such thing as unicorns. I am sorry, Jeffrey. I know I am disappointing you with what I'm saying, but real world is real world because, sometimes you got to know what the NFL feels like. But Mark Wins, how do you feel about this match?
So, like, this should have been okay. So I have a lot, right? Like, was the match ass? Yes. I feel like part of the reason why the match was ass is because, like, why was the match? Why did we have this match? Part of this match would have been so much more enticing if Cena was the heel and Brock was the face. That was, oh, you think you big? You think you bad? This is okay. Let's see how big and bad you are. And then Cena, because Cena is not he's not super Cena. Like he did this. He didn't even do. He hasn't been Super Cena yet, to my knowledge. I don't even know. Like this was the time to be Super Cena. Like okay, this is your retirement. This is your retirement. Whatever the fuck. Be Super Cena, and you can't do it. You ran into Brock Lesnar as a Brock wall, and you got you turned face for this. This is your redemption arc. The redemption arc. Oh yeah, well Cena's gonna have his redemption arc. Where's the redemption? I don't understand where the redemption is. You went face, and you got your ass kicked by fucking Cody Rhodes, and now you're getting your ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. Who's next? Randy Orton? You gonna lose to Randy Orton next? Is Randy Orton gonna get his lick back? I don't understand. Why did we turn him face? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I wanted to see it through because everybody's like, oh yeah, he's supposed to turn face and have his redemption, da 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 da. And so far, all I see him is getting his ass kicked. And then I think what was it yesterday? Yesterday, you're like, oh yeah, he only has 6 dates left. What the hell is he supposed to do with these 6 dates? What is he supposed to do with these 6 dates? Get his ass kicked some more? I don't understand. He should have just.
Breathe, Mark. Breathe. Breathe, Mark. Breathe. I was concerned. I was hoping that you were still breathing.
I'm good. I'm good. But it's just like, yo, like this is. Right now I don't see where this is good booking. I don't like. Oh, the heel run wasn't that good. Okay, what the hell is this? It's actually 4 days now. What is he supposed to do with these 4 days? Get his ass whooped, get his ass whooped, get his ass whooped, and then win his last match because it's in Boston? I don't understand it.
It's not in Boston, though.
It's not even in Boston?
It's in Washington.
I don't even.
Rich Cage, take the floor.
Me and Shay are usually in lockstep. And this match we're in lockstep with this one again. But this match was just pure garbage, right? And I would say shame on me for expecting John Cena to A win. Shame on me for expecting a wrestling match with Brock Lesnar in it. I thought maybe this is the last time we might see something different for a change. And it was to me Goldberg versus Brock 2.0 from WrestleMania 20. It was that level of garbage. It was so many finishers and a couple of regular moves. It was that bad. And when you watch it over again, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. It was just so freaking bad. The highlight of the match is Paul Heyman coming out to announce Brock Lesnar. If that's the highlight of the match, then what are we talking about? And then we see children crying, we see shocked faces. Like, what the fuck was that? It was just bad. So I'm not gonna. This wasn't nothing to analyze. Your own 2 eyes could tell you this wasn't even a match. This was just. It was a letdown. So I feel like this was just a waste of fucking time. This has no business being on the fucking card, and just sure disappointment. And then John Cena. And then what made me even more irritated was, okay, John Cena, get your ass kicked. Maybe somebody else needs to come back and beat you up some more. But we get the slow walk and then the salute back to stage. What the like? Just stop. But whoever wrote the script, fired immediately.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't expect much in this match. I mean, I didn't expect a domination. Like, I mean, it was damn near close, right? The what was that? 2014's. I'm sorry, I'm thinking SummerSlam. Yeah, no, this wasn't something to brag about. I mean, like, it felt like this match didn't even make 10 minutes, right? Like, I don't have the time stop, of this match, but it just, I feel like it wasted everyone's time. I feel like when Brock won. No, please go ahead.
Sorry. No, when my theory, right? The opening match should set the tone for the show. And
Sure.
Once I saw that, I should have known what I was in for tonight. But the rest of the night was better than what we saw.
No, it was. It was, yeah.
But I was very disappointed. Maybe somebody had a plane to catch. It was bad.
Well, one of the things I want to give a shout out to the executive consultant. I remember telling you one time, like, it was night 1 of SummerSlam, and it was like Roman opens up the show, and I feel like that's the same thing with Brock. And I'm saying I feel that way, but he was mentioning like that's kind of the same thing with Brock, where he either ends the show, or he opens it, and it's nothing in the middle. I don't remember even the last time he did a show in the middle. I can't on top of my head name it. So he was going to open that show and go home. He was going to get on, like, right after he suplexed John Cena, he said, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to get on my plane and go home." But yeah, I agree. This was not a good match, but luckily things did get better during the show. Let's talk about this match, and I'll give you the floor first here about this match, Rich Kings. We have the Usos reuniting. Michael Cole said something like, the Usos reuniting after a few years, and I'm like, they just teamed up in March, April. They just teamed up this year. But I blame because he was drinking real American beer, so maybe it has decimated his memory, so he couldn't remember it. So we have the Usos against Braun Mortgage, with special referee being L.A. Knight. Oh, never mind. Yeah, and Rich Kings. I'm gonna give you the floor here first. What did you think about this match?
All right, so once again, the pre-match, the eating, the Usos thing, that was great, right? And then it was like I got hit in the head with a shoe when the bronze came in. I was like, what happened? It was just it didn't even feel like a match at that point. Like, well, I don't know. I just felt it got taken out. But I would say the match itself was decent. It was a lot of moving around. The table was there in that corner for about I felt like 15 minutes to half of the damn match. Um, my biggest disappointment of the match was I felt like the special guest referee is just completely useless in WWE. Like, what are we doing lately? Like, I saw this in Evolution with Bianca Belair doing like, what are we doing? And now we see it again with LA Knight. Like, what are you doing? And there were so many teases, and we got nothing out of it. And I don't like teasing. Like, I personally, when I go out to shop, I go to the store, I buy what I want, and leave. I don't like to window
Oh,
shop. And what I got was
good
window
for you, man.
shopping in the whole match. It was like, you want that? You can't get it yet. And it was just like, if we're not gonna get it at Wrestlepooza, I don't want to see that on Raw. Like, this is supposed to be something that is gonna be captivating, and I felt like LA Knight was just useless. He was just a regular referee. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, stop. It was just there was nothing exciting about the match, but the match itself was okay. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5, 3. But I was really disappointed. I thought we were gonna get something else that we didn't get. Sorry.
Don't be. Don't be. Mr. Wins, please take the floor.
It was an okay match. I definitely agree with Rich Kings about how LA Knight added little to nothing to the match. If anything, the only thing that LA Knight added to the match was he very subtly made it a no disqualification match because we had a couple tables, we had some chairs, and but that was about it. Like, and then okay, and then boom, back to the commercial thing. They did show the thing where like, yeah, we need a ref that's going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger because this feud is out of control or whatever the hell they were saying. And we're gonna have LA Knight as the special guest referee, and it's like, okay, cool, congratulations. And like I said, other than subtly making it a no disqualification match, we got nothing from this. We got nothing from this match. We got nothing from LA Knight's involvement in it. I mean, I guess if you want to do the thing where it's like, oh, I think it was Jay Uso that like almost hit him with the chair, but he was able to hold back at the last minute, and then you could argue that cost him the match as opposed to like a full swing, and it would have clocked the regular ref, and then there would have been chaos and despair from that. But other than that,
Despair. That's a good word.
LA Knight didn't really add anything to the match, and yeah, like because like what's the difference between LA Knight being the ref and having a regular ref and just last minute making it a no DQ match? Not really anything. So, but it was a decent match. It was cool. I enjoyed it at face value, but yeah, LA Knight didn't do anything for this match.
A few things for me. I was glad that Braun Mortgage got the W here. I was saying like they needed to win more than the Usos.
Yes.
The Usos is such a established team, and like they're gonna be fine. Like they could take an L. Like, oh, this is the first time they teamed up. It's not month. It's not years, Michael Cole. It's months. But they're such an established team that them losing, even though it's the first time they've been teaming up since what, March or April. It's fine. Like they're gonna be fine. They're such an established team. Yeah, this match wasn't anything for me to go crazy about personally, but I'm sorry, Shay's. I think the TV was muted, but she says the Vision interest music is so unfortunate. So that's not good.
It's unmemorable. I don't like I was saying. I don't know what they were coming out to.
I honestly thought like I don't know. I thought it was a song featuring Nate Dogg. I hope he's all right.
You know, the people
What
would
do
have
you
been
mean?
hyped.
Oh, who's okay? Time out. Slap. You don't know. Date Dog passed away several years ago. He's not all right. He's never.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah. A
I
couple
mean,
years
then
ago. I thought that was more than a couple years ago.
I feel like it was 2 or 3 years ago.
No, it's been a while. Like I knew, but Mark just I hate you.
But yeah, nah, that's not.
No, but this match wasn't like anything to go crazy about. But I was happy that the Braun Mortgage got the dub, and they needed it more. And the stuff about LA Knight, I hear what Rich Kings is saying, and when he's talking about like I want to see it here tonight and not on Monday night. But my counter for it is why not save some stuff where people can like okay, now we know this is going to be an issue and it's going to trickle to Monday Night Raw. Save some of that so you can go like, oh, how's this going to play out on Monday Night Raw? And I understand that's not for everybody, but that's just a thought process of let's not blow your load here, but blow your load here on Monday. And I think that was very inappropriate on how everything came out.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Sorry.
you're definitely right. Nate Dogg died in 2011. So my apologies there. But so what did we get this to save? I don't want this. What did I get to say? Let me look forward to this on Monday Night Raw. He did lift his hand up in the end and walked out.
So like
how is it going to go over?
They you got to remember, like they have been, I don't want to say, I guess feuding or beefing for the the last 2 weeks or something like that. So they're focused on it. I'm not sitting there saying like, hey, this is all right, this is okay. I'm just trying to make sense of all this stuff and sit there and saying, look, they're going to go with the thing that they've been beefing for the last 2 weeks. This happened, and Jay has a thing where he's like, yo, you counted the 3 and you screwed me, and they're already at edge and then tension and all that stuff. And I wish I had a picture here real quick, and I know you're going to counter me with stuff, and I always look forward to it because it's always fun having these conversations with you, sir. But did anyone laugh when the table just fell on top of Jimmy? That pretty much described this match. I thought that was so great, and I think we both said, look, through his own table. But I digress.
Yeah, that was funny. I do want to add this one point. And I have no idea the possibility of this. But wouldn't it be wonderful? So, like, boom, we have Paul Heyman, step in real quick to introduce Brock Lesnar. Wouldn't it be wonderful if Brock Lesnar joined that little faction? Wouldn't that be absolutely excellent? Like I said, I have no idea what the possibility is. The chance.
I think it's slim.
How unfortunate.
Someone said, and I told you this before we went live. Someone wrote like, "Yo, if Brock joined the division, it's over for everybody," and it's true. It is like I think when you have you have these 2 up and coming young men, right? Bronson and I'm sorry, I had to remember the name Bronson and Braun. I'm sorry, my brain, right? And then you have Brock Lesnar, who is literally a world ender. Like, why would I even want to be on the opposite side of them? Like, hey, this is your ops. No, it's not. I'm leaving. I am out the door.
The visual will be very cloudy with Brock Lesnar on that team. It would make 0 sense.
Yeah, you know what they would call them? It wouldn't be called the Vision. It would be called the Beast Vision.
Because where does Steph come into play? Like Seth, like no,
Seth would just get suplexed out of the group, like because like I wouldn't even listen to Seth anymore. Like all the respect in the world to Seth, like hey, I'm a revolutionary, not next to Brock. Like Brock could just throw you if he wants to, so please. I know I'm getting on everyone's nerve today. That's what Rich King said. Yeah, he's so over me. We got I'm sorry, I wanted to highlight this first. They are literally one of the greatest tag team of all time. They can take a loss. Yep. We got right. It's just not the song of a star. Pause. Take it easy here, Mark Wins. I can hear you. That Vision has a lot of egos. Brock wouldn't listen to exactly. He wouldn't listen to no damn stuff. Seth would just breathe wrong, and Brock Lesnar would sit here and teach him a lesson. For some reason, the thought of Brock joining, I got what you're saying, Miss Sawyer. Joining the Vision reminds me of Thor when he was with the. Oh man, that was and him and
And
Star
Star
Lord.
Lord, yes.
Yeah. Starlo was like, yeah, I'm the leader. Like when you're a god, you're not listening. Like Thor was like, please, like I could like, don't get me started. Let's talk about this match here, guys. I thought this was match of the night. We had Io Sky going against Stephanie Vaquero for the vacant Women's World Championship. Honestly, there was a reel on the IG with us, our lovely faces, and we all said Stephanie Vaquero. And I feel like we all said for Stephanie Vaquero, not anything against Io Sky, because Io Sky is dope. She's great. Her in ring stuff is fantastic. But it was like, well, why don't we do something different? And one of the things for me is like, this is cool. I love this for Stephanie Vaquero, but I hope that there's a direction for this. Um, I feel like they said it on the show tonight that they're going to be going to Perth, and there's no doubt in my mind, Rhea Ripley is going to be on that card. And if she's if it's so she said, I'm sorry, I had to get my sentence together, so please forgive me here, folks. But she pretty much was like, doesn't matter who wins, I got next. Okay. And it looked like she got next, and it looked like it's going to be against her and Stephanie. And I think a match with her and Stephanie Vaquero is good. My fear is that they just put the title on Rhea Ripley, and not. And once again, I always have to clarify this stuff. Is like, hey, this is nothing personal. It's just like I would love for Stephanie to have a little bit of a run and see what she can do. We saw what Rhea could do. Rhea didn't she hold a championship at one point for like a whole year? I would be cool with somebody else having it for a bit. Is my that's how I feel. But I thought the match was good. I thought the match was and you know something, and I want to credit Mark Wins here, because when we were talking about and we did predictions yesterday, he was like, I just don't want interference. And we got none of that. We got a clear, clean finish. We had Stephanie go over. She went over with the spiral tap. I mean, I'm not gonna break down every little moves and stuff like here, folks, but like I thought it was a fun match. I thought it was a good match. I thought these women had their working shoes on, and I'm interested in seeing what tomorrow looks like for Io Sky, because Io Sky is going to show up tomorrow, and Asuka is going to yell at her and said, "See, this is," and I feel like I'm doing a bad impersonation of Asuka, but she's going to say, "See, this is what happened when you don't listen to me. If I was out there, you would have won." And they're going to fight. And poor Kairi Sane. I feel like, you know what I feel like the match is going to be, right? What's going to happen is it's going to be Asuka and Io. But Kairi Sane on a pole. That's what's going to happen. They're going to put her on a pole, and whoever wins gets custody of Kairi Sane. Poor Kairi Sane. I feel so bad for her, because she's in the middle of her friends, and now like they had to fight for custody for poor Kairi. Poor Kairi. But Mark Wins, what did you before we get into a little bit of the chat here? What did you think about this match? And justice for Kyrie for sure, because we love Kyrie. Kyrie is fan. Can I just say, Kyrie is such a sweetheart. Like anytime Oscar yell, I literally said to the TV, stop yelling at it. But I don't put all my base in there, because Oscar would kick my ass. But Mark Wins, what do you think about this encounter here?
This was a good match. This was the match of the night for me. Like, I really enjoyed this match. This match lived up to, I don't want to say the hype. I have no idea what type of hype was for this match outside of what I was thinking. But for me, this match lived up to the hype. It was as good as I thought it was going to be. There was really good back and forth, lots of acrobatics, good storytelling in the ring. I loved it. And then, like you said, Stephanie Vaquero hit the spiral tap to finish it off. And then, they had they had the respect at the end. I loved it. It was nearly a perfect match. The only thing, and this is me personally, and this is probably something I need to just get over as as someone watching WWE.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a little bit faster paced. like just a little bit, right? Like it was already a pretty action-packed match. So I can sit here and say this is a nitpick. This is me being extra. I felt like it could have been a little bit faster paced, but overall, it was a phenomenal match. Like I said, match of the night for me. I loved it. It's one of those, and the only issue I think is that it didn't. And once again, another nitpick. It doesn't set up a storyline. It's just boom. We have a champion. We have a new champion. Let's see what happens with it. But other than that, love the match. It was great.
Rich Kings, before I give you the floor, because I look forward to hearing your opinion here, sir. Shout out to Stephanie Vaquer. The same girl that JC Jane beat, by the way. And I fear for her if JC gets called up because she's going to get clobbered. And I just wanted to throw that out there. I know no one asked for that, but I don't care. And I just thought it was important that I throw that out there. But Rich Kings, please take the floor.
I know in your hearts of hearts you don't believe that comment you just made, but I think
I'm sorry. What?
You don't believe that.
I do believe that.
You believe JC Jane will lose to Stephanie on the main roster?
No, Stephanie would beat. JC would beat Stephanie.
Okay, so back to reality.
That is rude. That is very rude. How dare you?
Oof. Like,
wait a minute. Hold on. How many titles did Stephanie hold max at the same time in NXT?
She did hold 2, but she vacated the other one because she's weak.
Oh, wait. Hold on. You said she did hold 2 titles at the same time.
Hmm? But it was the same company. She didn't do it in 2 brands.
2 belts is 2 belts.
No, Mark wins. I liked when you was quiet. Rich Kings, talk.
No, I really don't have much to add here. I mean, it was an amazing match. It was the best match of the night. It just shows off people's athleticism. It's just really, really, really solid and good. Like to Mark's point, no interferences. That's what something we was worried about yesterday. And I just think it was perfect to showcase both of their skills. Now I'm tired of seeing Io Sky now in the championship
run. Okay,
she's to get to the back. Like let somebody else go. Now I'm sick of Rhea Ripley. After she loses, she's to get to the back too. So we need to see other people challenge for the belt, and that's why I like what's going on right now. We get to see matches that we didn't see before. Like I don't want to see the same match I saw 2 months ago. So I do feel like after Perth and we get Rhea Ripley out of the way, I'm interested to see what happens next. But Io Sky, just take a chill seat, go battle Asuka. Rhea, after you lose, take some personal time, stay at home for a little bit, and let's see other people come up. Like, where's Bianca Belair? Did she just?
Well, she's yeah, she's hurt. I don't know if she's cleared yet, but last I remember, she's still out because of her. I think it's her finger.
Interesting,
pain.
But there's other people out there that need to get a chance, and we can look at the women's roster.
I agree.
Stacked. So. Let's see.
I think they could use some fresh faces. Fresh faces and stuff like that. Because I totally concur on everything that you're saying about like trying to add a little bit more depth into this women's division because it does get tiring. Like, look, I think these women are talented. You said Io, and I'm not as tired. I'm not so like Io. I hear you. I sincerely hear you. I'm not tired of Io. Rhea, I'm actually am because I feel like every time I turn around, and just to highlight something here, because Miss Sawyer even said. Right here, like, and I agree with this. This girl Rhea always got next somehow, and it does get tiring, and it just seems like I remember I was talking to the executive consultant, and when we were talking, I was like, she's getting to a point of almost like she can't go without a title, and I just think that's not. You got to have a little bit more depth. Like, yes, go for the championship. You should go for that, but at the same time, you're like. Let's see what you could do outside the championship picture. Like I think that's important as well. And I think that's what I was trying to make a point of yesterday. I forget what part of the show when we were talking about that. And we were just saying like, things. And I'm just like, yeah, it would be cool if like, hey, we did this. And I don't know.
Right. Yeah. When we were talking about that, because I was the one that brought it up. I was like, what storylines are there outside of the championship? And Rich Kings was like, how there might not be enough TV time for that, and that's
That's
the
true.
unfortunate situation with the women's wrestling division at the moment, because there is a lot of women's talent.
Mhm.
There is a lot of women's talent, but there might not be enough TV time to go around. So it's like you got to take your best talent, and it just has to be a TV. It just has to be a title match. And it's like, if you want to sit there and say, okay, so let's see other women in that title picture and see what they look like. I understand, but it at the end of the day, if that TV time is as limited as you guys say it is, because like I said, I'm casual. I'm absorbing the information from you guys. But if it's as limited as you guys say it is a little difficult to, come up with those feuds that are outside of the titles, especially now because there's more women's titles than there's ever been. Like there's how, is there like how many singles titles are there? Is it three or
We
four?
got two. So you got two on each brand. So you got the intercon. So including the main title, you have the women's intercontinental, women US, and women's North American. And there's also another one now where they have the speed champ. And this is all on NXT, by the way, with the North American and speed championship. So what was that? We had three. So that's 7 championships. And then you also got including the women's tag team. So that's 8, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so it feels like with the like I
And the
said, with
tag team
the
ones, yes, Jeffrey.
yeah, so it's like with the limited TV time that there is, you might as well throw the title in there, because here's the thing, right? Well, here's what we don't want to do. We don't want to have a woman that has a title, and then with this limited TV time that they have, granted, it's unfortunate. I'm not saying that it should be limited. I don't know the solution to this.
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna sit here. I can't big brain it. I'm just stating what I know. You don't want, for example, you'll sit there and say, okay, boom, Rhea Ripley has to do something outside of the title, and then now all of a sudden she becomes the focal point of the women's division and not have a title. We don't necessarily need that either.
Understood. You have any thoughts about that, Rich Kings?
I would say, why not? I mean, we grew up watching that. Like we didn't always see Triple H, Stone Cold, and The Rock always have a belt, but they were so focal. They was always doing that. And you got someone like Undertaker that just it's an afterthought that didn't. He was. I mean, he was there, but he wasn't always going for the belt. Think about Kurt Angle's and the Canes when we were growing up and stuff like that. I do think there's an opportunity. Maybe like I said, potentially there's another show that comes out of this. But there's just too much talent. So
There's a
not
lot of
everybody can have a
talent.
belt.
Yeah, and I prefer it that way though. I don't think everyone should have a belt. But if you're talking about the women division, this is why I think they should make Evolution a consistent thing. I thought they had a really fun show this year, and I would like for them to keep doing that as a thing for the women, because sometimes I didn't even think to even like when you brought up the whole stuff about time and time and how a lot of these women don't get a lot of time and stuff like that. That's why we need shows like that so they can have an opportunity to show and shine and show that they're they're just as a big part of the show as the men. Why don't we get into this next match here? And I thought this was a fun match. I mean, this was kind of close to being my match of the night, but I will still sit here and say this was such a fun match, and I've really enjoyed this match. We had the return. We had Becky and Seth Lynch going against CM Punk and AJ Lee. And I do have to sit here and say that I thought this match was fun. I mean, I thought this match was very, very fun. This was AJ Lee's first match in 10 years. And I thought she looked pretty good. I mean, I saw a picture early in the day and it looked like they were rehearsing the match, which I have no problem with. I mean, this is AJ Lee's first match, just to make sure that she was good to go. And I thought she looked good. I mean, I feel like all eyes were really more on AJ Lee just to see what she would look like in this ring. And props to her, man. I was telling Miss Sawyer when we were chatting a little bit about this, and Mark knows. So Mark knows it. So like Mark is always around for like the birth of a joke and whatnot for me. And I like the octopus stretch. It's a really Mark, what do I say anytime I sit here and say about the octopus dress? What do I say?
It's a really good move. It's a really good move.
It's a really good move. It's a fantastic move. I learned that move after I drowned an octopus, and I learned how to use this move. So that's the lore of this move. Didn't you learn how, by watching? No, I drowned an octopus with my bare hands. That's some really good stuff there. But the way that she does the octopus stretch, aka the Black Widow, she does this spin and everything like that. It takes such precision to do this move. And I thought she did it a few times and it looked really damn good. It looked really, really good. I thought she looked very, very good in the ring. She got the submission win on Becky. I thought Becky did a great job too. Becky, I loved how she sold when she lost with the camera, and she says, "Get the camera out of my face." I thought Becky, and I was telling Mark, and I mean, we had this conversation yesterday when we were talking about this who was it, Bleacher Report list. I don't have her number one, but I do think she deserved to be on that list because there's a bunch of others. Is my son okay? I know he's talking to my son.
Yeah, he was doing the thing where he scratched at the couch. I'm like, hey, you're not
Oh,
supposed to do that.
I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to
Yeah, I
talk to
was
him in a
like,
minute. I'm going to get my thought out and I'm going to yell at him.
yeah,
But
don't act funny.
Mr. Cat, please. I'm coming up there, Mr. Cat. But I thought she looked good. I mean, obviously the men, they were fine. They were cool. There's a lot of curve stomps in this match, which is fine. I mean, it's a good. Listen, I think that's a good move too. It's simple. Like I wish I learned that in kindergarten because someone knocked down my building blocks and I should have said there and said curve stomp. I probably just wouldn't be in school anymore. But why don't I give you the floor here, Rich Kings? What did you think about this match as I go get my child, my son?
No, the match was actually pretty good. I felt that the match was longer than I expected. Right, I think that when you have a return like that, they did a good job isolating AJ Lee from the first 10 minutes of the match. It seemed like, but when she actually got in the in-ring action, the pop was great. She was performing really well. I think they did a lot of good storytelling throughout the match. I think that match had probably the most storytelling in the match through all the matches of the night. So I could see why you would say that could have been the match of the night because I'm struggling. I was struggling in the beginning to be like, which one was the match of the night? AJ did look great in it, really great inside the ring and outside the ring, running around, hitting. What I did not like is that damn free Jessica Carr. Now it looks like it seemed she was kind of biased to me, in some parts of the match, and I was like, can we get her out of here? But Jessica Carr was just a little bit distracted for me a little bit, but I do think like AJ Lee was really good. Yeah, she annoys me for whatever reason.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, she's enough for me. But the double pedigree was great. Them looking at they're gonna do each other's finishers on through the table was great. Like there were so many different great spots that I could really appreciate. Like I was saying before, the storytelling was really good for me. It was a little longer than I expected, but the ending was just what we wanted. Now there was a couple of near falls and moments. I'm like, what? Like wait, like I really thought.
Yeah.
I was looking around like, wait, what's going on here? But it was really good. I think it got the crowd really into it, and I think it was a really solid match. Great for AJ Lee, great for CM Punk. And you got that moment. He was like, "Yeah, that's my wife." He was on the floor.
Yeah, honestly, I'm glad that you said that because I love that. I really love that because you could tell he genuinely was very, very happy for his wife. So yeah. No, I love that. Mark, what did you think about this match, sir?
It was the second best match of the night by far. I still prefer Io versus. I still prefer Io versus Steph, but this did come close, and I could understand why someone would see this match as the match of the night because it did have the storytelling. It did have the storytelling. It did have back and forth as well. It had good match psychology. It had a bunch of curve stomps. It had a bunch of specials being signatures and specials being used all over the place, but in good faith and in with good timing and whatnot. And yeah, I did enjoy the match. My favorite part of the match
Sure.
was when who did she throw at them? I want to
Oh,
okay.
she threw AJ. Becky threw AJ
Okay,
at.
yeah. So
You mean the
Becky
table
threw
spot, right?
Becky threw AJ at CM Punk and Seth, and boom, everybody collapsed through the table, and everybody lands, and CM Punk breaks character. I don't. He doesn't break character, but like where and normally CM Punk would just be laid out, but this time he's like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna roll over and make sure my wife is okay. I
Love
loved
that.
that little
Love that.
whatchamacallit. Like you could sit there and say, oh, like the hyper eye, the hyper super technical. Well, actually, I wants to see, oh, he broke character. He should have did that. Nah, fuck that. I loved that little thing that he did in the match. I don't care. Whatever. It was great. So yeah, I enjoyed that match. I know that little bit, it's whatever. I just love that little whatchamacallit. But yeah, it was a good match. I did enjoy it. It was dope.
You know what I did appreciate too. We said
Please.
that too. It's like I'm thinking about the highlights I loved about this match. We have these. They both were undefeated coming into the match, which is great. And I love that they said that Becky Lynch has never won it in Indianapolis, which was even better. But I do appreciate that the women were getting attacked a little bit by the men. Right, Steph knocked down AJ Lee off the turnbuckle. Seeing Becky get into a sharpshooter was great, and see her try to put like
Yeah.
when she put CM Punk that like these people can wrestle too, right? And I feel like we miss some of those things. You see clips of those things from live event shows, but we don't get it on TV for whatever reason. So I think it was good that they actually put that on an event like Wrestlepoozla. Like, hey, yeah, the men can wrestle a woman just a little bit, and just show that they can take a move too. Because with Steph Black, you together the Black Widow, that was pretty funny too.
That was. I did think it was a little ridiculous seeing Becky put the sharpshooter on Punk, but it was cool to see stuff like it. Could kind of remind. I mean, it's not going to be like how it was when we were kids. Back in the day when we were kids, right? And we remember like it was like when Stephanie slapped the Rock. What happened? She would get rock bottom, and it always felt like. And it would build up to that. And it felt good when it finally did happen because you remember for the longest time, Stephanie would never get hurt, hit, or attacked. And when it did happen, it just felt right? I mean, it sounds terrible saying that out loud. But yeah, no, I thought that was cool that they would do things like that. It's funny, real quick, and I have a question before we get into the main event here. But originally, I saw online. You might, I don't know if you guys will. Oh, that's so nice. I love that. Look at Mr. Cat. That's. I told you, Jeffrey. He makes an appearance. He's supposed to make once an appearance. I'm not paying you for the other stuff, Mr. Cat. So good luck. But and now he's cleaning himself. Are you kidding me? Now? Yeah, he's doing that now. Mr. Cat made me lose my thought. But I'll ask this: what do you guys think is next for? Oh, no, I remember. I'm sorry. So originally, someone was saying like, well, who CM Punk should have really bought in, and everyone's put it online. It should be Baron Corbin. You might say, well, why Baron Corbin? Because Baron Corbin end of days Becky Lynch in 2019. There was this mixed tag match, and he hit her with it. It's actually pretty funny. I just wanted to throw that out there. But let me ask you guys this, and I'll give you the floor first, Rich Kings and Mark Wins. You could take the floor if you have any thoughts about this. What is next for AJ Lee now that she has made Becky Lynch tap out? I will not give Mr. Cat a raise. He cannot. I drink the orange juice in this house. But go ahead, Rich Kings.
I think it's a good question. I don't know. Like we talked about this yesterday. I don't know if she goes for intercontinental belt or not. I don't know if she tries to perfect herself and go for the WWE, the Women's Championship or Heavyweight Championship, whatever it's called over there. But what I do think
World Championship.
Yeah, the World Championship. What I do think is that she continues to work her way up. I think that's what she should do.
I like that.
Have those mid tier cards or those regular cards that Mark was talking about, and then prove herself and maybe potentially be a viable winner, a choice to win the Royal Rumble, maybe be a viable choice to win Elimination Chamber. She should have come up here and win the belt immediately. But would I be mad if she beat Becky Lynch? No, I wouldn't. But I do think that there's some work that she will have to do to be like a potential Royal Rumble winner or Elimination Chamber winner. So just keep building her character up and go from there.
I like that. I do like what you're saying because I just don't think she needs to win it. I mean, at least right away. I don't know how long her contract is, but if you got her for a few years, why not sit here and just do other things where she's facing? And there's so many people that she can face, and there's obviously one of them being Roxanne Perez, her daughter. I mean, look at that roster. I felt like once upon a time I would be able to name all these names. And I can't think, but even someone like a Stephanie Vaquera, but she just became women's champion. Io Sky, Oscar. Think about Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is SmackDown, I believe. But nonetheless, there's all these other women she can face before getting some kind of championship gold, and I totally, utterly agree with that 100%. Bailey, there we go. That's a good one. They can run that back. They had a match in NXT. I don't remember exactly, but I remember listening to her interview with Chris Van Vliet, and she talked about how the hug gimmick really came about because of AJ Lee. So yeah, they could totally run it back. Especially now with Bailey, she has this split personality. Like one moment she's kind and nice, another thing she's calling people idiots and stuff like that. So I do kind of get that. Mark Wins, do you have any thoughts about this before we get into the main event?
You said that Roxanne. Did I hear this correctly? You said Roxanne Perez is AJ Lee's daughter.
Okay, so not like her actual daughter, but like you get what I'm saying. I hope you understand.
Okay, no, fair enough. Because I was a little confused. I was like, did I hear that? Yo, I thought I was bugging. I was like, did I hear that right? But no, okay, fair enough.
Mark Wynn was trying to say, I need to understand the lore. That's how I feel about Dragon Ball as I'm trying to catch up from the Radix stuff to the Cell Saga. But please carry on.
But I mean, I just hope that she doesn't. I hope that she doesn't do the thing where Alexa Bliss came back that one time and then fell into obscurity for several months. That's all. Like whatever is next for her is whatever. As because she did look good in the ring.
She did.
She did look like she didn't miss a step. And yeah, as long as she doesn't fade into obscurity, like I said, and now granted, it is AJ Lee, and at some point, even if she does fade into obscurity, someone's gonna ask, "Hey, where's AJ Lee at?" But yeah, I have no idea what's next, but I'm sure she'll have some type of success because she hasn't even wrestled. Well, I don't know about like any indie appearances, but like she hasn't wrestled in like any major like promotions outside of WWE in those 10 years, right?
No. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. No, she has not. She hasn't done any indies. I mean, once she retired, she retired. When she hung up her Chucks, her Converses.
Oh, she retired.
Mm-hmm. Well, she had she said like a neck injury, and it was bothering her, and she just was like, like,
okay,
she didn't want to worsen it, and
and
obviously they wouldn't clear her if they didn't think she could go,
right?
Because WWE is very funny about that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Well, she did do what? Right. She was like and thank you for this, Jeffrey, because like I honestly forgot that until you said that. She was like the general manager or announcer or something like that, right? And she did do a spot in Hills. I do remember that. I remember mentioning this on the Big Pop Theory podcast, the audio stuff, and I remember like saying something, or maybe I was just talking to myself. I don't even know anymore because I just talk a lot. But I do remember that spot because it was her and CM Punk, and she did the Black Widow in that show. So, and that was I feel like that was one of the things that made me gave hope. Like, she still got it. Like she'll be fine, and she was fine. I think the big test is what she's gonna look like when she's in a singles match. But yeah, no, shout out to her. I mean, shout out to everybody in here because I feel like everyone did their role. But really major shout out to AJ Lee because this was our first match in years. Punk has already had a few matches. Obviously had a few matches. You had Seth Rollins, obviously, and same thing with Becky Lynch. So, big shout out to AJ Lee and her, and shout out to her too, because she wrestled in Chucks. I walk in Chucks and my pinky toe hurts when I walk in it, so good for her. Let's get into this main event here. And I'm gonna give you guys the floor here because I don't really have any like thoughts about it. I'm pretty sure it will come up here. What we got? AJ hasn't lost. I know you meant AJ. AJ hasn't. No, she has not lost a step at all. Not at all. So let's get into the main event. We're gonna call it a show here, boys. We have for the main event. We had the WWE champion Gal, aka Cody Rhodes, going against Drew McIntyre, who he sent. Let's be real. Cody Rhodes sent Drew McIntyre home to be what's the quote again, Mark? Because you're the Street Fighter guy, please.
Wait, what happened? Cody, you said Guile sent Drew to do what?
What's the quote Gal says when he beats
Oh, yeah. Go home and be a family man.
And that's what he did. He sent Drew McIntyre packing to be a family man. And hopefully he can do that because, it's funny. I was, as I was preparing for the show, I went in the back room and you walked by, and I remember you quoted something I said earlier. I said, Drew, I don't say it was a perfect match, but he was pretty much on his game. I mean, he wasn't giving Cody nothing, like he was making it clear, like it was giving me vibes about his match with Seth Rollins from last year's Mania, if you will. Where he was working so hard and eventually he eventually beat Seth Rollins, right? And that's what it was looking like. And eventually I was kind of like teetering here. I picked Cody Rhodes. I stuck with Cody Rhodes, but I was teetering and I was like, I don't know, maybe Cody. I mean, this is starting to like, I was starting to feel like Drew would get the dub, and he didn't. But I'm going to give you the floor here first, here, Mark Wins, and then Rich Kings. What are your thoughts about? Real quick, I'm going to highlight Jeffrey's stuff here. He says, or his comments, he says, he has a pair of Chucks. Fantastic. I have a few pair of Chucks. They're kind of old, but like I have a few. And he also says, sent Drew to the emergency room to get that knee replacement surgery. Mark, what do you think about this match? I don't know if that was a real thing. I'm laughing because I just feel like it was in character about something, but I hope that he's not really, really hurt. But Mark, how do you feel about this match?
So I hope that Drew is actually okay, but at the same time, I do hope that Drew goes to a kayfabe emergency room to get a kayfabe knee replacement surgery because I heard it immediately. When Drew came out, there was no reaction. There were no boos. There were no cheers. It was nothing. If it wasn't the people on the entrance ramp trying to get their little high fives from Drew, there was nothing. It was really bad. Drew is not in an okay, like I thought he was in an okay, position or an okay place. I don't think he is anymore because like there's indifference from the crowd when he shows up. Now, if I'm interpreting this wrong, please someone let me know. But I saw this live just now. I saw no reaction from the crowd, and that was like, now granted, all night there's people getting boos and people getting cheers, and Drew comes out and we got nothing, and that is the worst case scenario. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, he has to win this. And then Cody comes out and you hear the crowd immediately, and I was like, yo, he's not winning it. Like it's really unfortunate for Drew. I don't know what the solution is other than he takes some time off and escapes the public eye for a little bit. Well, maybe not the public eye, but like escapes the WWE eye for a little bit, and then comes back and he with some type of impact, whether it's he comes in to save somebody and be be some type of, maybe not a baby face, because I don't see Drew as a baby face, but some type of like maybe a Randy Orton-ish type of face, or he comes in and screws somebody and becomes like a heel that people are going to hate. because he had zero reaction. Now the match was okay. It was technically solid. Did it run a little short? I'm not 100% sure because at the overall, it was kind of sort of a boring match. I want to say the highlight of the match was low key the ref screwing Drew McIntyre out of kicking the shit out of Cody Rhodes. Like he had that one spot at the end, and hopefully, and maybe that leads into him like being a full blown heel. That'd be great too, because he sat there and he was talking. Okay, boom. They showed the vignette where he was like, "Oh, I don't want to kick your face in because I want you to be at whatever full potential." He thought it was Goku for 2 seconds. And then he ended up kicking him in the face anyway because, Cody flew at him. And then boom, now we have the match. And he has the opportunity to kick his face into the thing. And he doesn't quite do it. There's hesitation because the ref is there. The ref was like, no, don't do it. Even though I think it was Wade Barrett that said, what is he talking about? This is not even illegal, which is not. And then he hurts himself by kicking the table, and obviously I'm pretty sure he's not hurt. I'm pretty sure it was set up, whatever. But he hurts himself to kicking the table, and then but somehow he gets a little bit more offense, and then he fails to do the Claymore because his knee hurt because he kicked the table and knocked Cody's head, and then he loses the match. And it's like that just looked really, really bad for Drew. Like, okay, he took a loss here, he took a loss there, he took a loss here, he took a loss there. This particular match looked especially bad for Drew, in my opinion. Like I think this puts his character in cold red. He needs a kick in the ass. And I don't know what that kick in the ass is. I don't know how you solve it, how you fix it. Like I said, I think he needs time away from the WWE, and then he needs to come back and do something crazy where he can be something. Because at this point, I don't think he has an identity. I don't think he doesn't have an identity. He is not over or under. He has no heat, no pop, no nothing. Drew needs help. As far as the match, like I said, it was mid. It was okay, technically sound, I guess. It told the story. I don't know what story it was trying to tell, other than, you know what I'm saying? Guy Osteen goes with everything. Yeah. That's my analysis. My analysis at the end of the day, too long didn't read. Drew needs a kick in the ass.
I mean, I think you said everything that needs to be said about this match. I think for me, I have the Cody Rhodes syndrome match. Like, it just keeps getting him and Sami Zayn. They tire me up, man. They just get their asses kicked for like 75% of the match, and then there's 2 or 3 moves, and the match is over. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like it becomes tiring after a while. I think Drew did get some offense in there, and here we just pop. Now, I would say like, there are times where he does get a pop. I just still think it depends on the crowd. It really depends on where you're at. Like some crowds are just different. And for me, I hear what you're saying. I will equivalent to that I was saying earlier with Gunther, right? When Gunther won that second reign, I think people were just sick of it. Like, oh, again, like, oh my gosh. And he got that nose surgery, whatever he did, but he had to leave and potentially come back. Maybe he needs something like that. I don't know. But the same way is also how your book too. And I think that most of us did not really see an angle of Drew McIntyre actually winning. So we're looking like you're putting something in front of our faces that's not going to excite us. And I think that's what the reaction you see he got. I don't think most of us, like we all had at the prediction show yesterday, that if you think of the polls, if WWE did polls like they did with in sports, who do you think is going to win this match? I really think it was 80-20. Like, who's the believers that thought he was going to win the match? So I think that plays into the pop that you're going to get, because there is the people that think you're not winning this. Like, and I'm pretty sure we got a different response if you put in something different against Cody Rhodes. The problem is, I do think that people that they love that theme, they love him obviously as a babyface, but who is getting to a point where, Cena's, we would say Cena's like the golden shovel, right? Like I told you, he's the cure. It was like almost like in, oh, man, remember X-Men 3, where that baby was just like untouchable. Like you touch a baby, you're like you just lost your mutation. That is what Cody Rhodes is. It's like what? Who are you going to put in front of him that's going to actually get the job done? And I don't know who you can actually put in front of him right now. That's going to be a viable option. You know, okay, this is going to be a good match, and the person has a chance of winning. So I think that's part of the problem you're running into right now with Cody Rhodes. Because what I will ask you right now is, it's really unclear who's going to be his next opponent, and why should they win? Now, if you're putting Brock Lesnar in front of him, I think you get a good different reaction. But taking him out of it and taking some other noticeable names, like who are you really going to put on SmackDown right now against him?
I would have to look at the SmackDown roster. I think that eventually him and Randy are going to be going at it. I know they had that King of the Ring, and I think that at some point Randy turns heel. Now, do I think he takes the championship off him? I would like to wait and see how that plays out. Because as you say, look at this roster, right? Look on SmackDown. Sammy's occupied. He's the I almost said Intercontinental, the U.S. champion. I'm trying to think about any other babyface. I like, I think a lot of people like Jacob, but he's not ready. It's not Carmelo. I own that guy's Randy at the time being. I'm trying to think who else is like a babyface on that roster. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Randy.
But you know what my answer would be? If you want to bring Simon this a threat, you call Uber. You call him up. You put him in front of
You
Cody.
saying Oba Femi? Nah, I wouldn't do that.
I would do that to
No,
get some excitement. I'm talking about getting some excitement into the match. I'm not
I
saying him to
wouldn't.
win.
No. I would be down for.
Baba. Ooh, Baba. Ooh, Baba. Ooh, Baba.
I would be so down. So the only reason, like, I hear you, but Oba is pretty occupied at the moment, and that's why I couldn't go for it. Like if it was, he doesn't have the NXT championship, he's free, and even then, I wouldn't even want him going for that championship right now because I know he's going to lose. I rather them build him up and he can have almost a similar path that what Gunther had. And I'm not even saying similar meaning like he holds the championship for 666 days. Because that's what's on Smack. No, the United States Championship is on SmackDown, right? But he holds it for a while. He showed his dominance and stuff like that. But I do hear what you're saying, where he have, a fresh opponent moving forward. I saw a picture. I don't know enough about it. I gotta look at it after we get off on the air, Jeffrey. But he's saying so Seth versus Cody at Perth. I saw a picture and they both raised the championship up. I don't know what's going on there because I know they had a post show or something like that. I didn't see it, so let me just look at that after. Cody has beaten He has, because even when you mentioned Brock, that was Brock's last opponent before he came back and beat the shit out of John Cena today. Yeah, no, Cody, and I've said this before. I mean, I'm not the first person. I'm not the only person that said it, and it's not something I credit myself like, oh, I'm the first who ever said it. But Cody is taking the manual of what John Cena is, and his super form is getting stronger every day. So, oh man, sorry, these hiccups, man. But oh man, this is really annoying. And all I can play is Goku's Super Saiyan 3 theme in the background. I would sing it, but I'm not in the condition to sing it. And
You
the
know why
wind.
that's funny? That's hilarious because the Super Saiyan 3 theme definitely fits him more than the Super Saiyan 1 theme. That's hilarious.
Well, I'm a genius, that's why. But yeah, that's I feel like I'm blasting that after we're talking Dragon Ball Z music when we end this. I just want you to know that. But that's really the show. I mean, I thought that the effort was there. I thought the two matches that really stood out is like if you did not see Wrestlepalooza and you was like, what matches should I check back? The women world championship match between Io and Stephanie, and I would say watch the mixed tag match between CM Punk, AJ Lee against the Lynches, and yeah, I would go with those two matches. I think, and look, I think BBM going against the Usos, Braun Mortgage against the Usos. I mean, that wasn't a terrible match. The weakest match was John Cena and Yes, the women did brought it. They had their A game completely. But the week matches were definitely the opening and main event. Like the main event, I didn't even hate the main event. I would pick the main event over the first match. But when Drew fell to the ground and he just got crossroads, I said, this is such Looney Tune stuff. And it just, I don't know, I laughed. I didn't I not say that? I feel like I said it.
Very, very Looney Tunes. Yes, because he fell because he kicked. Oh, oh, I can't. I can't. I don't like. Am I bugging for thinking like the main event picture in WWE is lacking at the moment? Like, am I bugging for thinking that? Because
I don't think you're bugging. I mean, I look, I don't have no strong definitive thing. I mean, it would be nice for me to sit here and be like, oh yeah, no, yeah, no, I can't say you are. I mean, I do think things will get better. I want to believe that. Um, I've watched this product and I like reviewing it and I love talking about wrestling. So I hope that it does get better. But this was definitely a weak match. It was definitely weak. And what can make it better? I think booking can make it better because you can add as much as it's cool. Sometimes we go like, and I've said it myself. I'll put myself out there. There's been plenty of times it's like, yeah, bring someone else and see what we get. But you can bring people up, but if there's no direction, no idea, no vision, then it's just a waste of everyone's time. So don't bring anyone else. Sometimes you have to sit here and look at what you have and what can we do to make this product better and what are we doing wrong. And that's what I'm hoping that they sit here and do. Plain and simple. Like no funny, no haha. It's just they sit here and go like, we have, because they have talent. At the end of the day, they have the talent, but what can we do to utilize it and make this stuff better? And how can we structure it better? And that's always been something for me. We need
yeah.
a superstar shift on both. I mean, you can, and once again, you could do a draft,
But what is
but
that?
I,
Okay, but what is that
Mhm,
gonna do if we're still gonna book the main events like
mhm.
shit? Like,
I was going to get to that
because
point.
like okay, like let's say for all right, so boom, our main events for the night were
Mhm.
Drew and Cody
Cody.
Rhodes, and then the title of the entire Wrestlepalooza, Cena and Brock. And
Mhm.
at this point, until I see improvement on this, until I see improvement on these 6 dates, I'm standing on that. I will concede Ron Killing should not have been a major opponent of Cena, but I'm standing on the the heel run of this farewell tour is better than the face run so far. I'm standing on that until further notice.
Ugh,
And with
ugh,
Cena with Cody,
ugh.
they're gonna stick with Cody, but he needs better opponents because Drew is not it. Like, and to be fair, he just got the title back, so we'll see what happens as that progresses. But Drew needs help. Drew needs a direction for real because I don't get it. I don't know what we're doing with Drew. Oh, every time I see him, like okay, boom, he won and he beat Jelly Roll in SummerSlam, and like he just
But
got here yesterday, so like I don't, and we ain't seen him since. After the, Drew needs help. Drew needs help, and that Cedar run, they got to do something with these last 6 dates because I right now I can't see how someone can objectively tell me how, if you want to sit there and say the heel run was bad, cool. This face run right now is worse. Now, granted, it's only been 2 matches, but I don't see maybe there's a match in
well,
between.
3 matches.
Okay, maybe so. Boom, there's a match in between that I didn't see, but right now I don't see how this face part of his retirement tour is better than his heel run. I don't see it. I
I
don't.
I I I would simply sit here and say the match quality is definitely better. And now I'm not sitting here and say if you're talking about this particular match, got it. Him and Cody, him and Logan Paul, him and Sami Zayn on SmackDown not that long ago. Those 3 matches were already better than everything that the Hill Run did.
Because that's the thing. The heel run was so that's the so the
You could
the
say
heel
it. You
run
could. I
was
know you're gonna tell
he's
me I'm gonna
ruining
ruin
wrestling.
Russ. Yeah,
Yes,
no,
the
no,
heel,
no, no.
the heel run is not, the heel run is not,
It was bad. It
the heel
really
run
was
is,
bad.
but the heel run
There's
is not.
nothing. There's
Ooh, I'm
I
supposed
hear
to
you.
be. The heel run is not. Ooh, I'm supposed to be giving you guys 100%. That wasn't what the heel run was about. It wasn't.
No, it was
The heel
terrible.
run was,
It was
I'm
terrible.
ruining wrestling. The heel run was, I'm talking shit to this crowd. The heel run was, I'm going home with this belt whether you like it or not. And then it abruptly ends because
It was
reasons.
terrible. It was terrible. Plain and
And
simple. Like,
and this face run is so much better.
oh, absolutely. Like,
I
I'm not gonna
doubt.
lie.
I don't agree.
And that's fine, and that's cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty much invested in the product, and I can sit here and say, when he was doing the hill stuff, I mean, when he said, "I'm going to ruin wrestling," I said, and I said this earlier when we talked about a certain wrestler showing up on TV. I said, "Is that a threat?" And this was just not it. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, he did the first week. I'll give you this. The first 2 weeks with the promo was cool. After a while, I was like, but your match is against Cody, and you're feuding with the crowd. I'm sorry. It's just. I'm sorry. It's just. It was really bad. I mean, I hear you, but I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give. I'm gonna just. It was really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Everyone is look
Is
right
it
here.
bad
Like
'cause we were,
everyone is saying, the Hill Run was like mold on it. It was bad, bro. Like
is it
you
bad 'cause
are
we're
the
missing
all.
the
It
point?
was awful. I'm not. Huh?
Is it mad because we're missing the point? Like I don't get it.
No,
Is it mad?
I'm not missing the
Are
point.
we
I
are we
get
missing
what's
the
going
point?
on here.
Because I feel
I'm
like we're
not
missing
missing
the
it.
point as opposed to okay, boom.
No, it
Now
was
we're
just
back to
simply bad.
standard. Now we're back to standard Cena, and it's okay. Like I don't, because right now I don't see where it's okay.
And it's funny, you're the one with glasses, but like I'm just simply saying, like,
Weird, isn't it?
strange, isn't it? All I'm just simply saying is, degree to disagree. The match, it was terrible. I'm sorry. It's not going to be that. It's not going to go. Like people are not going to talk about this down the line. Like at the end of the day, this was probably the worst part of his retirement tour. Like if you think it was cool, respects to you. I disagree. It was awful. It was terrible. Like it was definitely. I want to turn off my TV. Bad. And if I'm picking between both sides, I'm going with. I got better quality matches when he was doing babyface stuff than the Hill stuff. The Hill stuff was simply, it was bad. It was like, it just like, I didn't miss the point. I heard that plenty of times, whatever, to the point where I said, is this a shoot? Because he really was making it hard for me to watch personally. Rich King, you've been quiet. I don't like that. Do you sit here? You got to be, did you enjoy his Hill run? Was it something?
See, part of the problem why I think that not only a lot of wrestling fans don't like the heel run is because we've seen John Cena heel, and we know the character, we know the quality of what he can do. It was just a letdown. And I do think that it just wasn't, yeah, him feuding and the point, I do get it, but it could have been done better. And in the
For
matches,
sure.
if you want to put on poor matches, he could have done it better because he is such a talented wrestler. So my point would have been like, if you're really trying to ruin it and really trying to like sit out and do all this BS, he could have done that 10 times better because he's John Cena. The fact that he did, it wasn't as successful, and the people that think about it, when he was a heel, who did he go against? AJ Styles,
No, he
Randy
didn't go against.
Orton.
You
I
saying the
mean,
Hill?
yeah, as a heel.
CM Punk, Randy. I got you. No, I get what you're saying. Cody,
and
R-Truth. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could have been better. It just
Admit it.
could have been
It was it was bad. Admit it was
No,
bad.
the thing with and I think, and also the reasons why, because we think it's bad, because I think our minds just naturally see when people turn heel. That we saw Austin turn heel, it was just great. When we saw Rock turn heel, it was great.
Bro,
This is
Rock
when we see
Hill
him
was
turn great.
great.
You're thinking it should be great, and it was not. So I
You
think
know what it is?
for me, my brain process is I go by comparison of what I've seen people turn heel, and this was just not up to par of what I saw. This is equivalent of Triple H going good. Doesn't work.
That is funny. I'll say this, and we'll end the show because I see where we ran a minute, but it's always a great time here. I mean, literally, when we do this show together, it's literally what we will look like when we're all together and we're just recording, and you get to see us live. Because I promise we all love each other. But Mark's wrong. But I just wanted to
and I promise, if we were just recording this naturally, I'd still be talking.
He would be, and that's why we had to sit here and go. But I'll sit here and say this though: the way he was booked in WWE as a heel, and I don't put all the fault on him. I put the fault on WWE for not having a plan. They didn't have a plan. They had the moment, and they had no follow up. And I will always sit here and say that is why this sucked to me. And another thing for me would be it's not fair to do this, right? But I'm going to do it anyway. I remember watching a certain 2K and they had a storyline and the way they booked John Cena. Now, like I said, it's not fair because for whatever reason, in his heel run, he just showed up on Impact. You just can't do that. But the way that he was booked in a way, it was like, man, that's so cool. And that was so great. There was no direction with this. And no one can convince me otherwise. There was
But why are you so convinced? Why are you down the hill that there was no plan? How are you so
because Triple H said it. Triple H said it himself.
That's why.
He said it himself.
All right. So, yes, things change week to week. He can't tell.
He didn't have a bro. He didn't have a he didn't have a plan.
So you really think Triple H had zero plan on how to book John Cena? But
I don't think he had zero. I don't think he had zero plan. I don't think he had a direction. He didn't. Not even a plan B. I don't think so. For me, and I'll stand by this. This is just how I feel, and I will stand by this personally. John Cena announced last year he's going on a retirement tour, right? And as soon as you hear that, everyone should be in that.
I heard.
And I'm going to repeat it again, but that's how I feel.
So you don't think John Cena is going to sit there and tell him this is what I want to do?
No, he's not like John Cena. Is not like that. John Cena is not like that.
All right, so we saw that Untold, right? He's like, listen, just give me the plan. I'm gonna go with it. So you really think that they're going to sit there and say, well, let's sit on our hands and just go week by week and see what we can do? What sense does that make?
Rich Kings has a point because here's why. So I hear, boom, Triple H said they didn't have a plan. Part of that might be that they didn't have a plan B because he probably thought, okay, boom, The Rock is involved. They probably thought Travis Scott is involved.
I don't know why he wrote, man. No.
Right, Travis Scott. Right, hindsight. Travis Scott shouldn't have been. Not even hindsight. Fucking foresight. Travis Scott shouldn't have been involved to begin with. Hindsight says we shouldn't have involved Rock either. But maybe we thought we had Rock for longer than we actually had him. Whatever. So now Cena has to carry this on his own. And at that point, we're booking it week after week after week. We're figuring it out. But there was something that Cena was saying in like fan shows or whatever. His whole thing was like people would ask him questions about the run or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, so you want me to spoil this and you want me to answer the question and spoil it right here? No, we're gonna ride this out and you're gonna see what happens." Almost as if there was a bigger plan and maybe something happened and things fell through. So I hear what Rich Kings is saying because
I'm also going by what they said on Untold. He clearly said, "Okay, this is the plan. We're gonna call Rock. We're gonna call Travis. We're gonna call Nick Khan. We're gonna call Triple H. We're all gonna on the phone. We came up with this plan. Guess what? The plan fell fucking apart. They had a plan. It just didn't work. You really think that they're gonna sit here and not come up with a plan? That's where this is WWF. WWE talking about. We have zero plan. They had a plan. The problem was having The Rock as an integral plan or having Travis Scott was not smart. But they did have a plan. And it was clearly shown and Untold. These are the plans. That this is who we talk to. This is who we do. They change things on a fly all the time. Why would they not have a plan? I don't understand that.
It just didn't seem like they had a plan. I'm sorry. I hear what you're saying. I never
seemed like they had a plan.
They didn't seem like a plan. I hear, and that's fair because I didn't watch Untold, and so when you're saying that, I have no argument. But all I'm saying is what I watched, the product, and I'm just going by that, simply by what I watched. I hear what you're saying. I want that to be clear. Comprehend everything that you said. Noted. Boom. Right up here. But watching this was poor. And I would still sit here and say it was poor. And no one's going to convince me otherwise about that. And I hear that about they called Rock. And I to this day, I still don't even understand why Trevor Scott was even involved with this. Rock, okay, cool.
Because they love a celebrity.
And that's true. But even still, I'm still going to say I still don't understand why they called him. You're right. Absolutely. But still, why did they call Trevor Scott?
I'll tell you the reason. The only reason why I think they called him, because when you think about... So Travis Scott, if you do like, for example, like Rolling Loud and all these kind of concerts, he's the main eventer. People love Travis Scott.
No, he's a big deal.
He was on
that first Netflix. He was on that first Netflix. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you're right. He's a big deal.
He's a
Right.
huge deal, and that's how you grab people to get into wrestling, right? That's why they brought Sexy Red in for that NXT thing. How can we get more eyes here? Travis Scott's on a different level in that game. That's what they
No, for
brought
sure,
him in.
for sure, for
But what I
sure.
would say, I hear what you're saying too, and if I did not watch Untold, I would be like, that's kind of sloppy. But based off what they say and what they put out there, and I think
But
they was very strategic by putting that stuff out there too, because people like me and you're gonna be like, what the fuck was that, right? But the reason why
sure.
they put some of those things out there is be like, listen, we had a plan. I think they're pointing the finger back at The Rock, because like, think about it. After Elimination Chamber, what did he do?
Nothing.
Right. So I think they're pointing the finger back at The Rock.
He stood on the red carpet somewhere. I love this because this end up being like so let's end the show. Let's have this after show because like I'm not gonna hold you. We were this was really for Wrestlepooza and it went long. But I will just say this. I'm not trying to cut anyone off and try to get the last word, so anyone can get the last word, but we're gonna cut it off here. You said earlier, right? And you said like it would be sloppy if they didn't have an idea, a vision board, correct?
Right.
Like an idea. And I hear you, but it still came off sloppy to me. I'm just putting my own words. It just felt very sloppy because everything still it still came off like crap.
Before we end
came off that they were unprepared.
Can we highlight some of Jeff's comments? Because Jeff's out here spitting low key too.
Okay. And please grab a mop, Jeffrey, because how dare you spit in the on the floor? He didn't even tell us why he sided with The Rock. Yeah, right. Okay. Triple H turning on Shawn Michaels was great. Him turning on Austin was great. They wasn't sure week to week how Cena would be booked leading up to his heel turn run weekly. I just want to say, Jeffrey, thank you for being in the chat, bud. Cena didn't mention why he said. Did I cook this again?
No, he said it twice.
Oh, okay. What's it like? Trevor came out to Jay. Yeah, that was on that first Netflix show. Yeah. So here's the thing. He's laughing. I think he's laughing at us. Because Rich Kings, I mean, you point out, I mean, look, one of the fun things about conversation is you can learn from each other, right? You're right that they love their celebs, and it's honestly really more for when they bring out these celebrities. It's for people who might have fell out of wrestling or maybe even don't watch wrestling and be like, hey, what's this guy doing? Because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of wrestling fans, and I'm not saying every wrestling fan because there's a lot of people who do like, I'm sorry, what's this guy's name? I almost call him ASP Rocky.
Travis Scott.
Oh, Travis Scott. I don't know why I mixed them two together. But Travis Scott, there are people who do like Travis Scott. But there are a lot of wrestling fans who are like, okay. And I'm one of them personally. But I'm just saying I'm one of them. But I understand the totality of everything of what they're going for because they're trying to reach out for every avenue. So I totally understand. I just wanted to make that clear.
But it's the same thing with bringing Tyrese Halliburton in there. As a basketball fan, I know who that is, right?
I love him.
Yeah, but you see as a wrestling like for you love him now, but he's been out.
No, I've always loved him. He's great on the Mets, right?
Yeah, we love him a lot. Yeah, so this is the thing, right? So as Tyrese Halliburton comes in and he's feuded with Jalen Brunson and he does this, he's like an advocate for these kind of things, right? That how can we use you to not only plug for something else, but you're bringing in more technical fans. But these people are real wrestling fans. Now I do think if Halliburton
for sure
wasn't really hurt, I do think he'll have a bigger role in it because he said I will always love to wrestle, right? Same thing with Jalen Brunson where he came in the ring, had that little thing with his broken arm and stuff like that.
Is that the one where they were at I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That was the one where they were at MSG. Yeah. I wanted to sit here and say this this last part here. So I don't mind celebrities in wrestling. I really don't. That don't bother me. Like Jelly Roll, it didn't bother me, especially since he took the losing fall. But I will sit here and say this, and I would ask you guys this, and let's really end the show. We can have a conversation after. Do you feel like Trevor Scott needed to be in this main program of John Cena turning heel? Because I don't think so.
No.
And my thing is, no, he didn't. But if you're gonna, my thing, I would have chosen a different celebrity. If I want to have a celebrity in it, I would have chosen the best wrestler.
But I would never have a celebrity in this segment. I think and I'm just saying personally for me.
But remember where you're going. They're going to Vegas. they're doing all these other things. They're putting up all the shops. Like when they go into these big venues like New York, Vegas, LA, there's a celebrity has to be involved. If you're going to something like New Orleans, okay, move on. Like we don't really care. Tennessee, right? Move on. There's nobody coming. So when you're going,
you just shit on New Orleans when you just now.
Yeah. Like who's going to go to Saudi Arabia? Like who's coming there? I don't know who you're going to pay. But like if you're going to, Vegas,
I think they have their own like celebs out there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But nobody that we're like nobody.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Yeah.
If you're asking me who could have had the impact to have a bigger play,
DJ Khaled.
I would have been somebody that actually seen wrestle. I would have put like a Bad Bunny. He probably wasn't available, but that's just the realm of going. I would have put a novice like Travis Scott in that position. I think Bad Bunny's the best wrestling celebrity. Yes, Mark. That's what you're thinking.
Nah, I was looking at something else, but yeah, no, Bad Bunny is definitely the best celebrity. Or whatchamacallit between him and
Logan Paul.
Yeah,
that's fair. But with that said, that's the Wrestlepooza, and also you heard how we actually interact with each other after a show. But gentlemen, I want to sit here and say thank you guys for joining in, and it was such a great time. I just want to highlight this real quick here. Jeffrey's saying, "Not the Mets, get out of here, Jack." I thought I was pretty damn close, personally. I was so close that Rich King was blown away by my knowledge. But Jeffrey says also, Tyrese said he would love to crash on the table and do a dive to a bunch of people to catch him on the kickoff. And hopefully he gets to fulfill that at some point. Bad Bunny is great. Bad Bunny is great. And honestly, too, I wasn't familiar with Bad Bunny until WWE. And it just shows that I stopped paying attention to a lot of certain things like I did when I was younger. But with that all said, thank you, gentlemen. This is the Big Pop Theory Podcast. We reviewed Wrestlepooza, and we hope to be back with some more content. I want to thank you, gentlemen, here. And I always like to give you guys the floor. You guys are great. So with that said, Rich Kings, I'm going to start with you first, and then we'll give it the floor to Mark. I want to say, where can people find you when they want to have a conversation about many things? Because you are the smartest man in the room, sir.
Right here on the Big Pop Theory Podcast.
And I'm grateful for you. I mean, I know that we argue on this thing, but I just want you to know, hashtag justice for JC. Mark Wins, where can people find you?
I'll keep it short. You can find me on YouTube at Legend Number M. I'll have content up there soonish because I definitely got some ideas. But like I said, I'm gonna keep it short because I definitely contributed to this going a little long. So
no, I think it was all. It wasn't even just you. It was it was all of us. Like, you know, conversations. Like I said, I feel like I've told people like, you know, it's pretty much us. Just you catching us recorded, and you see what we are like when we are. It's pretty much what we are like if we all linked up together. We watch a wrestling show and we had conversation about things and stuff like that. So, and listen, I mean, I think the content is so good because Jeffrey is down for it because he said this was great, fellas. Let's do it again, and we'll be back. I mean, the idea is to do some recording for some old school content, and I'll talk to you gentlemen about it, and maybe we can plan some stuff and schedule some things about that. But please follow the Big Pop Theory Podcast. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. It does wonders for us. We're trying to grow this YouTube channel. We're trying to get some audio, to get back to the audio content of things as well. And we just appreciate you. If you, I've always felt like to say, if you watch for a minute, 5 minutes, if you watch for the whole show, appreciate it. No matter what it is, thank you. I think it's important to say thank you. So with that said, we have an Instagram. We're going to try to start using these social medias a little bit better. We're going to get there. But we have an Instagram. We have a Twitter. We have a YouTube because you're watching on YouTube. And we have a TikTok. And also, if you have any questions, you can hit us up at the Big Pop Theory Podcast at gmail.com. And you can follow me on social media. You'll see, if you see bad guy _Jack, that is me. So with that said, thank you for watching. Be well, be safe. Gentlemen, please give a wave to the people. There we go. That's lovely. Bye.